Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Possession, Subjection, and Male Oversight, Captain. Now, the captain we're referring to is the character or figure known as Captain Tazariak, or one of these wayward Israelite camps out here preaching that the woman is the most powerful thing on the earth outside of Yahweh. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense. He's pandering and catering and simping for women. All right, um, you want to make them feel good. I guess that's what he wants to do. But the scriptures say otherwise. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to learn that the woman was created to be a possession. All right, she was also commanded to be in subjection. We're going to also, Salaki, we're also going to talk about the male oversight. A woman was actually created to have male oversight. She had the oversight of her father in her father's house, okay? And that oversight transferred to her husband when she was in her husband's house. A woman couldn't make a vow, promise, okay, without her father or her husband, okay, agreeing to it. If they agreed to it, then she could be bound by it. If they did not agree to it, guess what? If they disallowed it, the Lord will forgive her, okay, for making such a vow. All right. So let's um let's go ahead and let's get into this. All right. We'll start off with the Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 6. One of my brothers in the camp posted this scripture right on time. It fits Captain Tazariak perfectly. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 6, it says, "For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded." I'll read it again. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 6. It says, "For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded." Okay, so right now, Captain Tazariak is not being regarded highly at all. All right, because he's basically preaching and teaching some heretical doctrine. All right, anytime you saying that the scriptures say and the Lord say that the woman is the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh, something's wrong with that. Okay. This is Ezekiel 13:1. It says, "And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of Yahweh. Thus said the Lord power. Woe or destruction unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh. They have seen vanity and lying, divination, saying, Yahweh saith, and Yahweh have not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they will confirm the word." All right. So, hey, listen, you know, you can't be out here putting words in the Lord's mouth, saying that the scripture says and the word says. Okay. So, 1 Corinthians 11:19 says, "For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest unto you." Okay. So the uh the scriptures or the verses that Captain Tazariak was referencing is in First Esdras, the third and the fourth chapter. Okay, and this is under the Media Persia captivity, and basically under the King Darius, there was a contest of wits, so to speak. Okay, so when you read the account, okay, one of the men is three men. One of the men said that wine was the strongest thing on earth, and one said that the king was the strongest thing. All right. And then the third talked about the woman and truth. Now, when you follow the story, okay, the third man, okay, which was Zerubbabel, he was talking. It was all. It's like it was a backhand thing. Okay, he was talking about the power that a woman has through the weakness of a man. Okay, the power that a woman has through the weakness of a man. So therefore, when Zerubbabel, when as he spoke about this particular uh, incident, he showed how that the king, right, is it can be weak. The most powerful person ruling a land can be weak for a woman. All right. Ultimately, the end of the contest. All right. He says that wine is wicked, the king is wicked, and and women are wicked. Okay. And he talked about the truth, and that the truth, was the most powerful. So you can't. It's too many other precepts and scriptures that explain, how the woman is not the most powerful thing on the earth. Why would they be the possession? Why would they be in subjection? Why would they have to have male oversight? So I think the point was completely lost on this brother when he read that. I don't know why he chose to use that example to pander to women or whatever, but um, he was explaining that women can have power through the weakness of a man, and that's really what it was all about. But this is Proverbs 31:3. It says, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." Listen to that again. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Okay? So here's a proverb, all right, that's explaining to you, all right, that you're not supposed to give your strength unto a woman. Now, if the woman was the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh, then you wouldn't have scriptures here explaining how a man ain't supposed to give his strength to a woman. That doesn't make any sense. So, all right, so here's instruction. All right, so the scriptures were given for instructions. All right, for doctrine, reproof, correction, instruction in righteousness, that a man might be perfect. So here's some instruction in Proverb 31, right? Let's look at first Esdras 4:37. It says, "Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and it is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forever." Okay? So Zerubbabel, right, says that that wine is wicked, the king is wicked, and the woman is wicked. But the truth, okay, is always strong. All right. So his example of and basically what he did was he took what the other men said and just showed the wisdom or the foolishness. All right, the foolishness in their perception of what was strong. The ideal that wine, okay, was the strongest, or the idea that the king was the strongest. Okay, so there's a scripture that says many seek the judge's favor, But all the rulers favor, but all the judgment come from the Lord, right? So a man that's trusting, in the king, thinking that the king is the most powerful, Zerubbabel, he blew that idea up by talking about a woman, what I'm saying, could basically manipulate a king. So that's kind of the concept behind where this Captain Tazariak aired. Let's look at Matthew 14:6. Let's look at the wickedness of a woman. Okay. So you have the wickedness of a woman, and you'll see the weakness of a man, right? Now this is Matthew the 14th chapter. We started the 6th verse, and you had uh, Herod, right? Wanted this young girl to dance for him, okay? And even though he put himself in a horrible position just because he gave power to a woman. Now let's read the account. Matthew 14:6, it says, "But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before him and pleased Herod. Whereupon, here come the foolishness, he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John the Baptist's head in the charger. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, stupid ass oath, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison, and his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother." You see, didn't Zerubbabel say that wine is wicked, the king is wicked, the woman is wicked? You see, here's an example of that. This is Sirach 36:24. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and get into how the woman is a possession. Sirach 36:24 says that he that getteth the wife beginneth the possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. Okay? All right, so how is the woman the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh when the scripture says that she is a possession, a pillar of rest? It also says where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. So what's the hedge? The hedge is the man of the Lord. So where there is no man of the Lord, the possession is spoiled. See, right now, this truth is coming back onto the earth. All right. And in the kingdom, you ain't going to have no, well, first of all, the Lord is going to cause us to do his will. So it won't be no damn sinning in the kingdom. All right. But even in this kingdom, okay, we're rehearsing the righteous acts, but we don't have any sovereign in this country. All right, and so we are yet in our captivity. Okay, but if we did have, you know, a little bit of sovereignty in our own households, which we can try our best to have, but it's hard when your children are mingling and going back and forth amongst the heathen. All right. But the hedge is the man of the Lord. All right. And without the man of the Lord, the possession or that woman will be spoiled. You leave a woman to her devices, she's going to be spoiled. This is Ezekiel 22:30. "And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge." See, the man is the hedge. "And stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found none." All right, so that's just a precept proving that the hedge is the man of the Lord. Okay, 1 Timothy 2:11. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." You see that? The scripture is saying for her to be in silence, but she's the most powerful thing on earth outside of the. That just sounds so stupid. Okay, many lashes. He needs many lashes. Verse 13, "For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. All right, so here you have it. Um, the scripture says that Adam was first formed, then Eve. The scripture in verse 13 is showing you the precedence or the hierarchy. The scripture is reiterating to you, hey, the man was formed first, then her. Okay? And the man was not deceived, but the woman was deceived. The woman was in transgression. So how is she the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh? 1 Timothy 2 and 11, it says, women should learn quietly and submissively. See? I do not let women teach. This is the New Living Translation. Salakia. This is the New Living Translation to the previous passage that we just read. Okay, so let's see what the New Living Translation. Actually, let me read. I'm gonna read the King James first, and then I'm gonna transition into the New Living Translation. So I'll do it one more time. Salakia. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So now we're going to read that in the New Living Translation. Women should learn quietly and submissively. I do not let women teach men or have authority over them. Let them listen quietly. For the Most High made Adam first, and afterwards he made Eve. And it was not Adam who was deceived by Satan. The woman was deceived, and sin was the result. But women will be saved through childbearing, assuming they continue to live in faith, love, holiness, and modesty. You see? So here you have it. Very clear, right? You got order. And the order is that the man, okay, he's the head. Eve was formed afterwards, and she was the one in transgression. So how is she more powerful than anything on earth? She's obviously not more powerful than the man who she's supposed to be learning from and submitting to. 1 Peter 3 and 7, it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, and give honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. The scripture is telling you that the wife is the weaker vessel. Jeremiah 31 and 22, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right, that's not a good thing. Okay, that was not a good thing. And that's why you had to break down a society here today. All right, feminism is a woman um, basically saying that, hey, I don't need a man. Okay, they got all these punch words like the patriarchy. All right, which is basically a form of hate speech. You know, the patriarchy is hate speech, but they tell you this is hate speech. Isaiah 3 and 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Now, this is a curse, all right, and this curse, primarily is with Judah, all right, the Judite woman, all right. So how is she the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh? When the Lord is talking about how stinky she is, how fat she is, and how bald she gonna be. Okay, which is so many of these manly uh, Judite women out here anyway. All right, now let me go and close in Numbers 30th chapter, and let's talk about this male oversight, and then we're gonna be out. Numbers the 30th chapter. All right, I'll start at the top. Salakia. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which Yahweh hath commanded. All right, so we starting off in verse 1 knowing that Yahweh commanded this thing. All right, and the Lord doesn't change. It says, if a man vow a vow unto Yahweh or swear an oath to bind his soul with the bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto Yahweh and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she have bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand, and Yahweh shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. Okay? Verse 6. And if she had at all a husband when she vowed or uttered out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and Yahweh shall forgive her. Okay? All right, so this is explaining. Wow. A lot of notes on here. A lot of notes on here. I'm not even gonna go into them. Wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being of subjection unto their own husbands. All right, it's too many scriptures on that. Let me get out of there. All right, can't be in subjection if you're the most powerful. All right, let me finish on with Numbers 30, verse 9. It says, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, or if they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. You see? So here you have it, the widow and the divorce. These are women that have no man, right? So they have no covering. And so whatever vow that they make, it says, the scripture says, their vow shall stand. Verse 10, and if she vowed in her husband's house or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and wherewith, every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband have utterly made them void on the day that he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows or concerning the bond of her soul shall not stand. Her husband have made them void, and Yahweh shall forgive her. Okay? Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from the day to day, then he established all her vows, or all her bonds were upon her. He confirmed them because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall in any ways make them void, after that he have heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. These are the statutes which Yahweh commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. All right. This is called male oversight. Okay. You can't get around this. All right. And feminism can't take it away. Being in Babylon the Great can't take it away. Just because it's 2023, that don't take it away. Going into 2024, that ain't going to take it away. This is how man and the woman was supposed to be from the beginning. Okay. So when you see a so-called feminist, or you got a woman who drunk the wine of Babylon, talk about Numbers, the 30th chapter, in the male oversight. Okay, this lesson was for Captain Tazariak, all right, and the wayward Israelites that's preaching and teaching that the woman is the most powerful thing on earth outside of Yahweh. All right, that's a lie. All right, I pray that this lesson has been edifying until the next one. Shalom.